सामने दे
नहीं वो ये दे
ठीक है मैं जा
Who wanted to make the announcement? Can you come and make the announcement? السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونؤمن به ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد ومن يعص الله ورسوله فإنه لا يضر إلا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وإن شر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار وإنما توعدون لوعد. أما بعد أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله تعالى فإنه رأس التعالى فأجمل له بالكلام. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, as we gather on this blessed Friday, 8th of the Hijj, 8 min the Hijj, and a day before Arafah, the day of test and the day of wuquf amam Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the day of standing. We reflect on the story of Abu al-Anbiya, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, and his family, his whole a'ilah, the khidmat al-Islam. Our topic today is the sacrifice of Ibrahim alayhi salam, not alone, but the whole family together, wife, son, father, all united in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give khidmat lid-deen. Allah says in Surah Safat, Surah 37. Please come forward so we can have space for the back. Let us empty here. Two people can sit here. Allah says in verse number 101 in Surah Safat, فَبَشَّرْنَاهُ بِغُلَامٍ حَلِيمٍ. I see a lot of little kids here, mashallah. It's a good sight to see on a Friday morning in the masjid. Just like these little kids, was one little kid, his name was Ishmael, or Ismail alayhi salam. And Allah mentions about him in the Quran, in Surah Safat. How beautiful it is that Allah mentions about the son of Ibrahim, Ismail, in this ayah, in Surah Safat. And Allah says, فَبَشَّرْنَاهُ بِغُلَامٍ حَلِيمٍ. We give him the good news of a young boy, who is what? Halim. Allah defines, right at the birth of this baby, Allah defines the character of the baby. هذا غلام ليس غلام حليم. It's not a common boy. This boy is Halim, from Hilm. One of the 99 names of Allah is Al-Halim, which means forbearing, having perseverance, having strength and stamina to bear all tests and trials and tribulations, come what may in you. So Allah sets the stage right from the beginning that this is no ordinary child. Don't take this baby as a normal baby. This baby is going to be a leader for mankind, and he is the son of a leader. You know, my dear brothers and sisters, as parents, we always talk about how can my son and daughter be a leader. Here is the example of Ibrahim alayhi salam, how he cultured and cultivated his son to be a leader. Leaders are not produced in universities and colleges and schools. Leaders are not produced in the corporate roles of the companies. But leaders are produced right here at home with the father and mother, giving the tarbiyah, the best of mentoring. And that is what we see in the example of Ibrahim alayhi salam. That Allah blessed him, Ismail alayhi salam, after a long time. And you know how the story goes, as Rasul told us. And we need to repeat this story every year during Hajj so that our children know our values. So that our future ummah and the future generation know this story and continue for their children and their children and so on. If we do not mention this story, then the story will be forgotten. And yes, repetition is good in some things, because Allah says, فَذَكِّرْ إِنَّ الذِّكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Remind people, verily the reminder helps. So today is a khutbah of family, how we as a family can come together and sacrifice for the sake of Allah. The next ayah, number 1 or 2 in Surah Safat, Allah tells us about this young boy. فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعْهُ سَعْيًا قَالَ يَا بُنَيَّ إِنِّي أَرَى فِي الْمَنَامِ أَنِّي أَذْبَحُكَ فَانظُرْ مَاذَا تَرَى قَالَ يَا أَبَتِ افْعَلْ مَا تُؤْمَرُ سَتَجِدُنِي إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ مِنَ الصَّابِرِينَ. What a beautiful kalam between al-ab wal-walad, between father and son. What a beautiful conversation. Today, we as an ummah, as a generation of Muslims, we complain about communication gap. There is no such thing as communication gap in Islam. It is the job of the parents and children to have a communication stronghold, to have a strong synchronization of mental wavelength. What the father is thinking is the son also thinking. What the mother is thinking, the daughter is also thinking. And vice versa, whatever the father is thinking, the daughter is thinking, and the son is thinking in the mother. Such synchronization is required for a successful, healthy, prosperous family, where the individuals understand their reality, that what are their collective values, what bonds them together, what gels them together, what brings them together. It is their deen, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad. Today we have family problems. Today we have communication gaps because the children are on a different wavelength. Children are thinking about different things, and the parents are on a different wavelength, and the parents are thinking of different things. The priorities of children are different. The priorities of parents are different, and that creates a rift, friction, and dislodges the family peace and harmony. And that is why we learn from our father Ibrahim alayhi salam, who was given the title laqab of Abul Anbiya. What a great honor, what a great accolade, that he is the father of all the prophets that came after Ibrahim alayhi salam. Every single prophet that came after Ibrahim alayhi salam on the face of this earth was from his progeny and his offspring, all the way down to our Habib Mustafa Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Khatim al-Anbiya wa Sayyid al-Mursaleen, rahmatul lil alamin alayhi salatu wa salam. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam reignited the sunnah of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam reinvigorated the family values of his great-great-grandfather Ibrahim alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in this beautiful ayah, فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعْهُ السَّعْيَ. The Quran is a mu'jiza. Quran is a living miracle of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Because the a'jaz of Lugha al-Arabiyyah, Allah chose to reveal the Quran in Arabic, and the Arabs know this very well, that none of the Arabs can ever duplicate the Quran. Because this is a challenge, a tahaddi that Allah gave 1450 years ago till this day. And as we speak, counting, Arabs who are trying to make a duplicate Quran are failures. Because Allah says you can never do it. What is the ijaz of Quran? What is the miracle of Quran? The word choices. The words are heavy. The words have magnitude. The words give you such vision and graphic imagery that you can transport yourself thousands of years back as if you're seeing the whole thing in front of your two eyes. Such are the powerful words of the Arabic language. And it's not just to praise Arab or Arabic language, this is to praise the word of Allah. Kalam Allah al-Mu'jiz. What does Allah say? فَلَمَّا. And when the time came, meaning we did not test. Allah is saying that we did not test Ibrahim alayhi salam right at the beginning when the son came to him. Not the newborn baby Ismail alayhi salam who's crying, and Allah tested him. No. Allah said we gave him some time. We gave him some respite. We gave him time to enjoy with his child, to build a bondship, to build a relationship of hope, love, haneen, and uns, and rahmah, compassion, and understanding, to have a journey together. There is wisdom in these words, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, that spend time with your kids, spend time with your children. That builds a bond, a relationship. Because if we do not spend time with kids, we don't have that kind of bonding and gelling together. And then we complain about kids having wrong priorities and having communication gap. Time is of essence to build a parent-child relationship. And that's what we learn from the wisdom and hikmah of these ayats in Surah Safat. فَلَمَّا. And when the time came, بَلَغَ مَعْهُ السَّعْيَ. We know what is sa'ya, because many of us have gone for Hajj and Umrah. أَلَيْسَ كَذَلِكَ? In Hajj, one of the manasik of Hajj is what? السَّعْيِ مِنَ الصَّفَا إِلَى الْمَرْوَةِ. Walking or running between Safa and Marwa is called what? Sa'i. In the middle between the green lights, the men start walking faster, briskly, or running. But all the time you're doing a sa'i, Safa and Marwa. That same word is used here by Allah. Why? Did you ever think about it? Even to the Arabs sitting here, I ask you, did you ever think, لماذا ربنا سبحانه وتعالى استعمل هذا الكلمة وهذه الكلمة في هذا الموقع? Why did Allah use this word at this point, this juncture, to give me and you an understanding, hikmah, wisdom? As-sa'ya means able to walk. Now I ask you, my dear parents of Muslim families, when your child is able to walk, what kind of happiness do you feel? The first steps. And when the child is small and just crawling, or very small, 3 months, 6 months in the cradle, you can't get any benefit from the child, can you? Can you tell a 6-month-old child, bring me a glass of water, bring me this pen, bring me my glasses, bring me the newspaper? Can you tell that to a 3-month-old, 4-month, 6-month baby? That's the wisdom hikmah. فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعَهُ سَعْيًا, Allah is saying that when Ibrahim a.s. spent enough time with his baby Ismail, that now Ismail a.s. is becoming an assistant, an aid, a helper, like we do with our own children, don't we? When our son and daughters become 4, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, what do we say? Baby, please bring me that. Ya ibnati, ya ibni, bring me this. Hats, give me that. No, we know that very well. That when your child is able to walk and move around, and you build that relationship, you ask assistance from your child. Bring me a glass of water, bring me this, bring me that. And then, Hadir ya Baba, Hadir ya Mom, Taht Amr, at your service. This is the what you can say, the ubudiyya lillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala. Birrul walidayn, that we are supposed to teach. The goodness for the parents we're supposed to teach our children, so that they are always humble to their parents. They say, yes, Baba, yes, Father, yes, Mama, what do you want? Let me help you. Why? Khidmah. Because we get Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His rida, bi khidmatil walidayn. All you youngsters sitting over here, I want to give you a clear message. If you do not serve your parents, Allah will never be happy with you. In fact, we as elders, if we don't serve our parents, if our parents are old, like 60, 70-year-old, Allah will not be happy with us. So if I want my son, my daughter to help me and serve me, I have to be a role model dad. I have to be a role model mom to them. That look, I serve my father, my mother. مهما كان الظروف, no matter what the circumstances are, even if my parents are not happy with me, they don't talk to me, I cannot retaliate, rebel. Okay, they don't talk to me, I don't want to talk to them. No, I still have to go them to teach my children that look, no matter how upset your parents are, you still have to serve them. خدمة للوالدين. This is what Allah is teaching us here. فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعَهُ سَعْيًا, when Ismail Islam is big enough to walk around and be of aid and assistance to his father Ibrahim Islam, then came the order from Allah. Look, Allah waited and waited and waited, that when the time is now that you are so attached. I'm not saying that if a child is small, 6 months old or 1-year-old, you don't have attachment. Yes, you have attachment. But over the passage of time, you build and build and build attachment. Losing a child at 18 years of age is more harder than losing a child at 18 months of age. There is love in both scenarios. But the attachment, the memories, the recollections become so strong that a person is not willing to let go. You know, many non-Muslims, they attack on this story that how cruel, how evil is God, that He asked His own prophet to sacrifice His son. What a sorry state. They missed the boat. They did not understand the message. They looked at it from a negative perspective. They didn't have the glasses of Tawheed to understand why Allah tested and what's the end of the story. The end of the story is not to sacrifice Ismail Islam. This whole story was a lesson for humanity, for mankind, not just Muslims, for everyone who is a human being. All the bashar, all the Bani Adam. It's a message for them that Allah is giving. That look, we tested our prophet, our slave Ibrahim Islam, and he did not hesitate. He did not sway. He did not swerve or deviate. He did not even have second thoughts. He had no qualms about Allah. You want my son? Father, labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. Inna al-hamda wal-ni'mata laka wal-mulk la sharika laka. What does this talbiyah mean? Is it just lip service? مجرد كلام من الفم في الحج للحديث؟ لا، كلا. These are not just words from lip service from the Hujjaj or talbiyah. This talbiyah should sink in our brains, should permeate our hearts, that Allah is saying, here I am at your service. Allah is teaching us from this talbiyah a message of gratitude, a message of servitude, that do not respond to Allah with delay. Respond to Allah in hurriedness. So Allah says, فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعَهُ سَعْيًا قَالَ يَا بُنَيَّ إِنِّي أَرَى فِي الْمَنَامِ أَنِّي أَذْبَحُكَ. Father Ibrahim is saying to his son who is grown up, and most of the Mufassirin are that of the age that he's about 7 or 8 year old. How many 7, 8 year olds sitting here? Imagine that. Because they say these words give us an idea of the age bracket of Ismail alayhi salam. He is big enough to help and assist and aid his father. So he tells his son, Ya bunayya, look at the love, look at the haneen, the compassion, the affection of the father. He doesn't say, son, I gotta sacrifice you, come with me. He uses love, compassion, respect, adab. Parents, we have to show respect to children. Some of the parents from different back home culture is that no, children don't deserve respect. And then I'm the father, I'm like the man of the household dictator. No, the leader of the household is khadim. Sayyid al-Qawm khadimuhum, as Rasul said. The master of a leader, the leader of a qawm, the master is their khadim. So the father and mother have to show respect and love and compassion. This is what Ibrahim al-Islam is teaching us. He said to his son, Ya bunayya. And all the Arabs sitting here know very well that the word Ya bunayya is full of love, ihtiram, izzah, respect. There are many ways to say, Ya ibni, Ya waladi. But Allah chose the word Ya bunayya, oh my beloved son, oh my helpful son. Ya bunayya, oh my son, inni ara fil manam. Oh my son, I see a dream. I see a helm, a dream. Now what dream do I see? He's sharing his dream with his son. Another lesson of wisdom, hikmah, that communicate with your children. Have strong communication channels. Whatever you are thinking, whatever you are facing in your life, in your work, in your job, in your career, at home, outside, whatever you're facing, talk to your kids. Let them know that ya habibi, your mama is going through this, your mama is going through this. Because children are mature. Don't underestimate them. Don't think that a 7-year-old, 8-year-old cannot give me advice. You never know, sometimes 5-year-old child gives you an advice that boggles your mind. That makes you strange. Wow, where did that wisdom come from? You're just 5-year-old, so small. Allah chooses people to say things. That is why Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib said, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, when somebody gives you nasiha advice, don't look at the person who's giving advice. Look at the advice they're giving us. Look at the nasiha they're giving. We sometimes get advice from young people, we shrug off the shoulder. You're a kid over there, get out. You were born in front of me, and you try to give me advice today? Go learn something. He's learned a lot, my dear brother. This is not the attitude of a Muslim. This is not the character of a father who's Muslim. Here, Ibrahim al-Islam is teaching us that he's communicating to his son. Ya bunayya inni ara fil manami anni adhawka. Fanzur madha tara. Look at his beautiful way of addressing. He says, tell me, what do you see, my son? In other words, in English language, there's a cliche, a proverb. They say, do you see what I see? If I'm looking at a tree out there and I tell my son, do you see what I see? Yes, Baba, I see that tree. Maybe you want to cut it for the winter time to have. Oh, how did you know that? How do you as son know that? I never said that. All I said was, do you see what I see? He said, yes, Baba, I know what you're going through. I know what is in your mind. I know your mental wavelength. We are synchronized. We're like this. No one can separate us, father and son. This is the moral of the story of Ibrahim al-Islam, Ismail al-Islam. Ibrahim al-Islam is showing love, respect, compassion, gentleness, tenderness, kindness. He's saying, son, do you see what I see? I saw a dream that Allah is telling me to sacrifice you. He didn't say, Khalas, we have to follow the order. Come, tomorrow I'm going to take you outside at Arafat area and sacrifice. No, he asked advice, consultation, shura. Allah says in the Quran, وَأَمْرُهُمْ شُورَى بَيْنَهُمْ وَأَمْرُهُم شُورَى بَيْنَهُم. We think of shura only in a bigger picture, like in a masjid, in a company, but we don't think of shura at home. Parents have to do shura with kids, children. What do you think about this? Son, daughter, tell me, what should we do in this? Have shura, consultation. He did not give order. If he wanted, he can. He had every right to say to his son Ismail, we have to follow this order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No, sir, he did not do that. Ibrahim al-Islam is teaching a lesson, an ibrah, a dars, to all of mankind, that talk to your children with compassion and love and understanding. Bring them closer, do not drive them away. Don't turn off your children. And look what he says. The son responds. This is the son of who? Ibrahim alayhi salam. Tarbiyah of who? Ibrahim and Hajar alayhi salam. Look at the tarbiyah of the parents. That the son does not rebel. The son does not get scared. The son does not get anxious. Oh no, 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 father, what's going to happen? I'm going to die? You're going to kill me, father? No. Listen to the words of Ismail alayhi salam. قال يا أبتي. Sometimes I cry when I read these words. That there's so much love from Ismail alayhi salam. He knows the green leaf is the end of his life. But he addresses his father with love. Ya Abati. And look at the words of Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salam. His words are not words of shaking the zeal, the conviction of Ibrahim alayhi salam. It is not to waver him, to not make him nervous and anxious and panic. Oh no, no, my son is getting scared. His words are to reaffirm the faith. His words are of strength. His words of magnitude. His words of bravery and camaraderie. He says to his father, Ya Abati, if I'm not ta'mar, Uqsimu billah, I swear by Allah, all the Arabs sitting over here, they know very well that the word if'al ma tu'mar means do what Allah has ordered you to do. Because in Arabic language, the word would have been different if the meaning was do what you wish. What would be the word? If Ismail Islam said do what you wish, he would have said if'al ma tasha. Subhanallah. هذا هو إعجاز القرآن. This is what I'm saying. Quran is a miracle. It tells us about an event that happened thousands of years ago, and it literally gives you a graphic imagery. It makes you as if you are back in time and you're sitting there and watching father and son. What are they saying? Oh, he's saying this, he's saying that. Son said to his father, Ya Abati, oh my beloved father. Just these words have hubb and wood and wadud and haneen. These words are so beautiful. It makes you cry if you understand the Quran, the miracle of Quran. Ya Abati, if I ma tu'mar, or my father, do what Allah has ordered. Amar, tu'mar. If I ma tu'mar, do what Allah told you to do. Don't do what you feel like. Because which father, who father, wanna sacrifice his son? Is there any father here today who would say, yes, I'm always ready to sacrifice my son? Even Ibrahim alayhi salam, he is saying, tell me son what to do. And he's saying, father, don't worry. I'm in your foot by foot. I'm with you eye to eye. I'm with you brain to brain. I'm here to solder you, to bolster you, to strengthen you. I'm not here to weaken you. Compare that to our Muslim families today, where father and son are fighting, where husband and wife are fighting, where daughter and father or daughter and mother are fighting. This bickering, this fighting, this argumentation has got to stop. It's a nuisance. As an Imam, I know part of my job is counseling families, and I know a plethora of families where they are in turmoil, where they are in problem. And the number one root cause is what? You know? Communication gap. They're not communicating in the same way. As an Imam, we have to make them sit together, side by side, and show, look, he said this, she said this, he meant this, she meant this. You are desynchronized. Synchronize your family. Join your family. A successful family is a productive family. A productive family is a productive ummah, and the ummah needs to succeed. Enough with this bickering, enough with this fighting, which is pulling us down. And that is what Ismail alayhi salam said to his father. افعل ما تؤمر ستجدني إن شاء الله من الصابرين. Allah. He said, do what you have been ordered to do, you will find me. Father, you will find me, Ismail Islam, من الصابرين, from the patient one. اللهم اجعلنا منهم ومعهم. Allah, make us with them and amongst them. Allah, make us from the patient people. آمين آمين رب العالمين. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر لكم ولسائر المسلمين واستغفروا إنه غفور رحيم. التائب من ذنبكم ومن لا ذنب له. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم بسنة الدين أما بعد. In conclusion, our time is running out, but it was just 5 more minutes. In conclusion, Allah SWT says in the next ayah, فَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَ وَتَلَّهُ الْجَبِينَ. And then they both submitted, and he turned his jabeen, his head, upside down. Because if the head is up, father and son is looking at each other, which father would be able to see the son and also do the sacrifice? So the Quran is telling us he put him upside down from the back of the neck. And the moment he picked up the sikeen, the knife, a call, nida came from the samawat. وَنَادَيْنَاهُ يَا إِبْرَاهِيمُ. Allah says that, وَنَادَيْنَاهُ. We called on Ibrahim. Ibrahim does not know anything what's going to happen. What's the future? Is my son dying tonight? This is the end of my son. He knows nothing. He had no wahi from Allah before that. But right when he picked up the knife, sikeen, وَنَادَيْنَاهُ أَنْ يَا إِبْرَاهِيمُ. And we called upon Ibrahim. قَدْ صَدَّقْتَ الرُّؤْيَا. هذا هو الأساس. This is the foundation of this whole story. قَدْ صَدَّقْتَ الرُّؤْيَا يَا إِبْرَاهِيمُ. You have fulfilled the dream that we asked you. You fulfilled the promise. You fulfilled the commandment. And then Allah says, إِنَّ كَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. This is how we favor and benefit the muhsinin, the good doers, that he changed over there with the sheep. Many of us will be sacrificing the day after tomorrow. And this sacrifice is to remember the sacrifice of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Every year, thousands and thousands of Muslims around the world are sacrificing, remembering this ru'ya, remembering this sadaqah and sidq of Ibrahim alayhi salam, to commemorate. What is the reason? Is this sacrifice mujarrad udhiyah, this qurbani udhiyah, is just to have fun and sacrifice? No. When we are sacrificing the animal, we're remembering one message from Ibrahim alayhi salam. ماذا قدمت لدينك؟ ماذا قدمت لخدمة الإسلام? Translation, what did you put forward for Islam? What did you serve Islam? What is your sacrifice? ما أضحيت للإسلام. What did you sacrifice for Islam? What did you give for Islam? Today, if an Imam in some masjid announces we're going to have Eid al-Adha Salah at 7, people start saying, oh, it's too early. We cannot sacrifice our sleep. We cannot sacrifice the comfort of our beds and everything. But that same person who's complaining, if their boss in Manhattan says you have to be here in Manhattan at 7 o'clock in the morning for job, will we sacrifice the sleep? You bet 100 times. Because he's paying the same. When we pray for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't pray. And the job of all Imams in every masjid is to lead people to the Sunnah and to remind them what is their priority for Allah's sake. And that is what this Ibrahim alayhi salam is saying. That I sacrificed my son, my wife Hajar, left her in the desert in Mecca. I sacrificed myself. What have you sacrificed for the deen of Allah? What have you given? Have you given up something for Islam? Have you sacrificed your time, your energy, your khidmah, your skills? Have you donated something? Allah does not just need the money. Like Allah says in the Quran, لَن يَنَالَ اللَّهُ لُحُومُهَا وَلَا دِمَاؤُهَا وَلَكِنْ يَنَالُهُ التَّقْوَى مِنكُمْ. Allah says in Surah Hajj, verse 37, that the لَن يَنَالَ اللَّهُ لُحُومُهَا وَلَا دِمَاؤُهَا. The meat of the animal does not reach Allah, and the blood of the animal does not reach Allah. So what does reach to you, Allah? وَلَكِنْ يَنَالُهُ التَّقْوَى مِنكُمْ. Your God-fearingness, your khashya of Allah, your hope of Allah, your commitment to Allah, that reaches Allah. We should be asking in this Eid al-Adha that what have we sacrificed for the deen? What have we served for the deen? How can we donate our time, our skills, our talent? When there is a program at the masjid, what can we do? What have we done for our brothers and sisters of Islam overseas in different places, in Palestine, in Palestine, in Syria, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Kashmir, in Burma, and Philippines, and other places, wherever our brothers and sisters are suffering, what have I done my share? The udhiyah is not just mere sacrificing an animal. The udhiyah is a message that what have I sacrificed for the servitude of this deen? What have I given up to Allah? Because remaining in our comfort zone, remaining in our luxury and our things, and I don't want to sacrifice anything for the deen. I want the deen to sacrifice for me. I want everything to cater to my needs. When I want to get up, I want to pray. When I want to get up, I want to do that thing. That is not the way Islam works, my dear brothers and sisters. May Allah give us tawfiq to serve Allah's deen. May Allah give shafa'a kamila to the people who are sick in these days today. May Allah give maghfirah to all those who have passed away in the last few days in this month and the previous ones. May Allah bless them with the highest place of Jannah and Jannah al-Firdaus. May Allah give us sabr adeem. May Allah give us the ajr of as-sabirin. May Allah give us tawfiq to be in the footsteps of Ibrahim alayhi salam. في قدم سيدنا إبراهيم عليه السلام. in the footsteps of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. عباد الله رحمكم الله إن الله يعلم من أهل الإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي ليعلم ما تذكرون وقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله